Hey everybody, Matt here. Thanks for stopping by. In this video, I'm going to show you how I cut off the tire from this rim. So the first thing I did was use a pair of pliers to pull out the valve stem. Next, I grabbed my Harbor Freight Sawzall and just started cutting into the tire just to see how it would cut. As you can see, it cuts through the sidewall really easily, but when I tried to cut across the tread and through the steel bands in the tire, that didn't cut. So as you can see, it was pretty easy to cut out a piece from the sidewall. So then I cut down the sidewall toward the rim, grabbed a flat bar to see if I could break the bead on the tire, and no good. So then I tried using a screwdriver. Still no good. At this point, it just seemed like I was poking holes in the rubber and not actually breaking the bead off of the rim. So it was back to the Sawzall to see if I could cut that piece off. As you can see, it was pretty easy to cut that piece off. So some more cutting with the Sawzall just to try and cut the entire tire off. It's also pretty easy to determine where you stopped cutting the last time so you can start again. I quickly learned that it's important to keep the angle of the blade correct. You don't want the blade hitting the rim if you can help it, and you don't want it cutting into the rim if you can help it. So with the blade at the right angle, it's pretty easy to cut through the tire and be reasonably close to the rim. Alright, time to flip the tire over and do the other side. Really starting to get the hang of it now. It's just a matter of getting the angle right as you're cutting. Now I can use a screwdriver to go all the way around the cut tire and pull it off the rim. With the majority of the tire cut off the rim now, I went back to try and get the rest of the tire off of the rim. So I went back to trying to use the screwdrivers to get the rest of the tire off the rim. Tried a couple of different sizes. The smaller of the two that I tried, I actually bent it a little bit, trying to pry off the rest of the tire. I gotta say, I was pretty surprised at how secure that the rest of the rubber was on the rim. I just couldn't pry it off at all. So it was back to the Sawzall to cut off as much as I could. At one point I tried a different kind of clamping system just to keep the rim from moving around too much while I was cutting off the remainder of the tire. It looks like I got stuck here a little bit. It looks like I had the blade angle wrong and I was actually cutting into the rim a little bit. And so once again, you can see if you have the blade at the right angle, the rubber cuts off pretty easily. So when I was all done cutting, I had cut away most of the tire from the rim. The bit that's left on the rim is really securely in place, and I can't think of an easy way to remove it. For what I'm planning to use the rim for, I don't think it's going to be a problem, so for now I'm just going to leave what's left on the rim and not worry about it. If I was to try and do this again, I think I would try and break the bead of the tire away from the rim before I started cutting. But for my purposes, having that extra bit of rubber on the rim, I don't think it's going to be an issue for me.